Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Stay Calm and Well series from The Ohio State University. This specific lecture is going to focus on the importance of being physically active in adolescence. I'm your speaker today. My name is Ania Campbell. I am a sophomore at the College of Nursing at Ohio State. Growing up, I was involved in sports and multiple different clubs and organizations, so I learned from an early age the importance of being physically fit and exercising, and so I'm very excited to get to share it with more people, and I'm very passionate about the idea. So let's get started. What is exercise? Exercise is described as any type of physical activity that is planned and structured. Generally, you will sweat, experience an increased heart rate, and breathe heavily. And then exercise is used for the purpose of conditioning the body to maintain fitness. So, benefits of exercise. It can reduce risk of illness and chronic conditions, for example, diabetes. It'll help strengthen your bones and muscles. It can improve mental health and mood. Exercise is shown to help those who are suffering from chronic depression because of the release of serotonin, which is also known as your happy hormone. And it can also suppress anxiety and negative emotions and moods. It'll improve your ability to complete daily tasks. You're more likely to have a more clear memory and to focus better when you exercise and incorporate it into your schedule. It'll increase longevity. You'll live longer if you exercise and are physically fit. It's going to oxygenate the body. More blood is going to pump throughout the body, so nutrients will be delivered to your tissues and organs and make sure everything is staying healthy and stable. And then finally, weight management. It's going to help with reducing your body fat. Two more benefits of exercise that we'll focus on are reducing stress. So the stress hormone is called cortisol. And cortisol suppresses our immune system. So when you're stressed out, you're more likely to get an infection or become sick. So moving your body around, even in just small doses, is actually going to help with reducing stress and cortisol. And then reducing inflammation, there's evidence that even as little as 20 minutes can help suppress inflammation and support your immunity. So physical activity. Physical activity includes movements done during leisure time for transportation or part of a person's job. So that could be walking to work or mowing the lawn. And then the number one obstacle for someone being physically active is electronics. Once you're down binge watching Netflix or scrolling through your phone, it can be difficult to get up and be motivated to go exercise and be physically active. So all of technology in this modern society has really made it more difficult for people to go out and to exercise. The picture on the right is a pyramid where there are different steps, and they recommend that you pick a different activity from each step to obtain energy balance and to be healthier. Continuing with physical activity, you need approximately 60 minutes or more of exercise every day. This can include bike riding, running, jogging, dancing, playing sports, swimming, exercise videos, and rollerblading. Especially with those exercise videos, there's so many different resources and different types of videos that you can reach out to and use and find which ones best fit your schedule or best fit how you like to work out. So some common myths about exercise. The first myth that we'll tackle is if I stop working out, my muscle tissue will become fat. And this is not the case at all. When you're working out, your muscle tissue just becomes bigger and bigger, and so that's why your muscles appear larger. But when you stop working out, your muscle cells just become smaller, and they don't convert to fat cells. It's actually impossible for a cell to convert to a different type. And so therefore, if you stop working out, your muscle tissue is not going to become fat tissue. It just is smaller. The second myth is early morning is the best time to do a workout. And this is just based on preference more. If you like working out in the morning more, or if that best suits your schedule, then early morning is the best time to do your workout. But for someone else, this may not fit their routine. And so that's all right. One thing I will say, though, is that working out right before going to bed does show, it does make it a little bit more difficult to fall asleep. And then finally, the third myth that we'll address is that you should go to the gym every day. And this is definitely Not recommended. Your body needs time to recuperate and to relax, and for those muscles to not always be in constant use. So while doing some type of physical activity every day is good, but this vigorous and very intense activity is not recommended of going to the gym. Instead, going on a walk with your friend or going on a bike ride, those are recommended to do on maybe your off days when you don't go to the gym. All right, so the next couple slides are going to address exercise recommendations and different definitions that are commonly thrown around with exercise. So first, strength exercises, these are muscle and bone focused. So this would be any kind of resistance training involving body weight, machines, dumbbells, bands, etc. The general recommendation is to work all major muscle groups at least 3 times per week. Then we have cardio. Cardio is any kind of physical activity that raises your heart rate above the normal resting range. And then the general recommendations for cardio are 1 hour per day of moderate or vigorous intensity. This should include vigorous intensity at least 3 days a week. And in the next slide, we'll address the difference between moderate versus vigorous intensity exercises. And then finally, flexibility are exercises that stretch your muscles in order to improve your range of motion. Functional training aids to improve your balance and your coordination. The general recommendation for flexibility is 2 to 3 times a week, at least 20 to 30 minutes each time. So here's the difference between moderate intensity exercises and vigorous intensity exercise. Moderate includes active recreation such as canoeing, hiking, cross-country skiing, skateboarding, and rollerblading. Brisk walking, bicycle riding, whether that's on a stationary bike or a road bike, housework and yard work such as sweeping or pushing a lawnmower, and playing games that require catching and throwing such as baseball and softball. Your more vigorous intensity exercises are going to be active games involving running and chasing such as flag football, bicycle riding, jumping rope, martial arts such as karate, sports such as tennis, ice or field hockey, basketball, swimming, soccer. With vigorous intensity exercises, you should feel your heart beating and be sweating, and it should be difficult to talk. You shouldn't necessarily be able to carry a conversation with someone when you're participating in a vigorous intensity exercise. And then the difference between bone strengthening exercises and muscle strengthening exercises. So bone strengthening exercises, we'll see that in hopping, skipping, jumping. So for example, jumping rope, running, sports such as gymnastics, basketball, volleyball, and tennis. The goal in bone strengthening exercises is to produce the impact or tension on the bone to promote growth, where the bone will become more dense and strong. And then in that muscle strengthening exercises, we have cross-country skiing, games such as tug of war, push-ups, resistance exercises with exercise bands, weight machines, handheld weights, climbing wall, and sit-ups, where you can have curl-ups or crunches. And a big comparison for muscle strengthening exercises is just muscle strength versus muscle endurance. Muscle strength would be lifting a fair amount of weight for only 1 or 2 rounds or reps, versus muscle endurance would be lifting a bit more of a moderate rate for more rounds and reps. And both of them take a different path of exercise and working out to achieve your optimal muscle strength or muscle endurance. So while we're exercising the body, we want to make sure that we're also exercising the mind. Benefits of this include reducing stress, increasing flexibility, increasing strength, protection from injury, and balanced metabolism. Ways that you can exercise both the mind and the body are going to be yoga, Tai Chi, and Pilates. So how to keep yourself accountable. You can put your exercise on a calendar, setting reminders for yourself, such as an alarm or sticky notes. Tell your family when you plan to exercise and what you plan to do. If they ask you, how was your exercise, and you haven't done it for that day, that reminds you, oh, I still need to go do a workout. Also, doing the exercise at the same time every day may be helpful. It'll set up a more routine and a habit for you. There's no period of activity that is too short to count. And also, writing down personal fitness goals and having them visible, it can also be incredibly beneficial. Okay, so how to increase your activity at home. Around the house, using the bathroom furthest away from your workstation or wherever you tend to be a majority of the time during your day. Walking while on phone calls helps. Tackling to-do lists will help you feel more motivated to go out and maybe do a more intense exercise. standing while listening to lectures, class, or doing homework. It's said that sitting is the new smoking, and desk jobs and sitting for long periods of time is proving to be really unhealthy. So making sure that you're standing and getting up and moving every once in a while, and then setting a timer to take exercise breaks is also a good idea. And then outside, we want to be playing sports. We could help with yard work, riding your bike, finding a walking path, and walking to drop off goods or groceries to those in the neighborhood are also ways to be physically active, still around the house, but outside. So being active with community or working out with somebody else helps promoting healthy competition. If you're working out with someone who has a similar fitness ability as you, or someone who maybe is a little bit stronger than you, it can decrease the risk of injury. When you have somebody working out with you, you now maybe have a spotter for when you're lifting heavier weights. Increasing the knowledge of gym equipment. Maybe the person you're working out with knows the gym equipment better than you do, so now you're becoming more knowledgeable. And then promoting accountability. You're more likely to go to the gym when you feel like someone is depending on you to go with them or to participate in the workout with them. So working out with someone or having a workout buddy can help you get you to the gym on days that you maybe don't feel like going. So there are endless possibilities of equipment and different mechanisms and resources that you can use to make sure that you're staying physically fit. They range from being pretty expensive to completely free. On the more expensive end, we have actually purchasing gym equipment for your house. So that could be purchasing a bike, a rowing machine, a treadmill, all those kind of things. That's more expensive. There's also the Apple Watch or any type of tracking device that you could use to keep track of your steps or how many calories you've burned. I myself have the Apple Watch and I love it, but it definitely was an investment that I had to make. There's also signing up for gym memberships or gym classes. The price range on those kind of, it fluctuates between whatever location you're looking at and how many times a week or how many times a month you expect to go into the gym and use those resources. And then completely free is just looking up HIIT workouts or workouts to do at home and yoga to do at home. There's YouTube videos that you could use where you have somebody you can follow along, or there's just looking up a different image like the one pictured here, where it's a full body HIIT workout that you can just follow along and do yourself. So building your plan, we want to make sure that we are setting SMART goals. And this in this situation, SMART, the mnemonic, stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and timed. We want to make sure our goals meet all those requirements. And then building your plan, like I said earlier, for example, the Apple Watch, closing my move ring every day helps me remember that I need to go out and do an exercise if I haven't done one yet today. It vibrates when I haven't stood up for an hour, or if I'm behind on my workout schedule where I would normally have already done something by that time. So our next steps, we want to make sure that we create an action plan. That can be incredibly beneficial. So the steps to creating an action plan: decide what you want, your goal. What is your exercise? What is your fitness goal? We want to make sure we write down our goals. Studies show that you're more likely to achieve your goals when you write them down or when you say them out loud. Include details. Be very specific about what your goals are. Specific was that S in that SMART mnemonic. We want to reread our goals often, really honing in and stressing that we still want to achieve this goal, is reminding you that this is still something you're going after. And then rewarding yourself. Exercise is still supposed to be fun. You're not necessarily supposed to completely take all of the good stuff out of your day or out of your week when you're trying to be physically fit. So making sure that you're rewarding yourself. Maybe that's going out to eat with your friends once a week or having ice cream. It's okay to fall off of your schedule once every while, but making sure that you bounce back and get on top of your goals and are still reaching for those. So that concludes my presentation on the importance of physical fitness for adolescents. A special thank you to the Office of Chief Wellness Officer and the Buckeye Wellness Association. And then if you have any further questions or just want to reach out and talk to somebody about the importance of adolescent health, these contacts would be incredibly beneficial and they would love to help, and they will gladly reach out to you and respond as quickly as they can. Thank you.